So first of all, thanks everyone for joining in. In fact, for those of you online, you should also know that we are right now sitting in Jaipur with a group of alumni from the IRMA community. So thanks to Ashu for letting us use the Amul Jaipur office for this session. Those of you who are joining online, warm welcome to you as well. So without wasting much time here, let's take you through what the session plan is like for today. Form to ask what kind of questions and what kind of demonstration you'll want me to make. So the very first thing that came up was how do you make presentations with using AI? So that's something I'll begin with. Then we'll do many more demonstration of different AI tools, and I have intentionally kept it like this. The idea is to show you stuff by doing it rather than giving you the theory behind it, because you can get enough theory on your own. So the idea was to show you stuff, share the best practices. Hi, welcome. And I think that's literally the best way to learn new stuff anyways. Then the third thing we'll do is we'll try to build an AI assistant for you, which you can use for your different work purposes. After this, I will talk a little bit about something which I think at least by now it's pretty important for all of us to understand, which is how this intelligent explosion is happening, and how do we deal with this, especially being knowledge workers. I think this is one where I'll also love to hear some questions from you. Then there is an exercise which we have in mind about how do you use AI for improving your reasoning and critical thinking ability. And then the last one would be what the best practices when it comes to talking to AI, which these days is called prompt engineering or prompting. So we'll come to that. So let's get started. I think the one context which needs to be established. So think of it like a hypothesis that we are trying to put here. That everywhere we are getting to hear the fact that with AI your productivity can go 10x. You can become a much more efficient version of yourself. So for this workshop, let's keep this as a hypothesis. Is it really true? And can we actually see real demonstrations which prove or disprove this as a hypothesis? Is AI really that very helpful as it is being made out to be? Right. So we'll try to prove this during the session. Let me start with the tool which allows you to make presentations. So I will have just shifted this first, seeing that the requirement for this was pretty prominent across everyone who shared questions, etc. So for presentations, let's start with one tool which is right away probably the simplest tool which is there right now, which can help you make presentations. So this tool is called Gamma.ai. And this is not the only way through which you can make AI-based presentation, but I think it really drives home the fact that with AI, the way we work, the way we think is fundamentally changing, right? So that's a big claim to make. So let's prove that. So I have basically come here to the platform. It allows you to build presentations, build websites, or build documents. Now, somebody in the room, and this basically tells you how many slides you can generate at a time, right? So let's go for a 14 slide presentation. Anyone want to give an input? What kind of presentation do we want here?
We want to make a presentation on yoga.
On yoga. Okay. And what specifically in yoga?
So I want to know what is the background behind yoga. How did yoga develop as a science?
Okay. Okay. Create a presentation describing the history, benefit, and practical application of yoga for working professionals, because that's the theme of our workshop here, right?
Yeah.
Take up the role of a yoga expert. So you want to direct the AI to what is the expertise, or which bank of knowledge should it draw on, right? Well versed in ancient and modern health scriptures and books. Some spelling mistakes here, but that's okay. So the
Shabbir,
very
can
first
you
thing
please
which it
share
has
your
done.
screen?
the very first thing which the AI has done it for you is it has given you the broad outline for this particular presentation, right? It's saying, let's start here, introduction to yoga, then the origins, the mind body connection, the physical benefit of yoga, the mental and emotional benefits of yoga, etc., etc. It is essentially making a logical, sequential story, so to say, because this is what presentation is all about. You're telling a story, right? Now you have a choice to make any kind of changes here. So essentially you see that it has made a sketch of the entire presentation for you, right? And obviously you can make all sorts of editing and modification to the PPT here. And then once you click on continue, it will then ask you what kind of style or theme do you want the presentation to be made on, right? So let's say you have these many options. Let's take any particular style randomly. Let's say we choose this one, and then you click on generate. So this is where the AI part comes in, because it has been trained on hundreds and thousands of such PowerPoint presentations. It is able to make the entire presentation for you at a very quick pace. In fact, it is so fast that, while it is creating the presentation, you can actually start presenting as well. Right. So we are on slide 1, talks about introduction to yoga, holistic approach, then the origins of yoga from ancient traditions to modern practice, talks about ancient root, Vedic teachings, evolution through the ages, and it goes on to further create all these 14 slides which we had talked about. So you can see all the slides here. So all of these slides are being, in fact, we are slide number 11 is being created right now. But the important thing which I want you to understand here is two basic stuff. One is that, whatever you see here in terms of the presentation, you have a complete choice to make any sort of modification that you want, not just the text, but also the images. So if you wish, you can come here and you can delete this image, you can change some other image, put some other image on top of this. And similarly, you can change the structure, you can shuffle the slides, you can delete slide, you can add a slide in between, right? So for example, I've added a blank slide here. So that's one thing to note about this application here. The second thing to note, and that is something I can say is the essence of this entire workshop, essence of what I want to convey to you through this workshop, is this: with AI, we see the birth of a tool which is a thinking partner for you. Like, so far, every time that we wrote a document or made a presentation, it was always about starting from scratch. First thinking in your mind what you want to do, and then jotting it down, refining it. Now we are talking about a complete reversal of this, that you have the entire presentation and you are co-creating it, right? Because every step is you are equally responsible for what the output is coming like. Yes, great. So what I'm trying to tell you is, and this is the mindset shift which I'm trying to talk about here, that can you think of this new way of working where you have a very intelligent partner who is very quick, but who needs your guidance. Because AI, at least in the foreseeable years, will not be so smart that it can make something which you can, let's say, present to a board meeting. You can't. But yes, it can definitely give you something very substantial to start with. It can help you with the design, it can help you with the image, it can help you with the structure of things. So I had, established a hypothesis, right? That we are living in times where you can be a 10x professional. You can be 10 times more effective. Now imagine you making this presentation from scratch all the way, 15 slide here. It would have easily taken you 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on how good you are making presentation. Now you made it in less than 5 minutes. In fact, it took 2 minutes. So that is why when people are claiming that you will be 10 times more efficient, 10x, or even sometimes they're saying 100x more efficient, that's what they mean. That we have tools today existing. So for example, this tool costs you 500 per month. There are versions of it which cost you nothing. It's free, right? So for example, let me show you another tool. Now this one is something which you are very well familiar with. The good old ChatGPT. Now the entire world knows about it. But you can pretty much create a presentation using ChatGPT. So let's show how. Make a presentation on the origins, benefit, and application of yoga for working professionals. Now here, I'll pause and want to tell you something which can save you a lot of money, time, and effort. You will see all this, so many courses coming up which teach you how to talk to AI and, prompt engineering banjao and, spend, give us so much money and all of that. Whereas what I have felt, so I have been, very, very heavy user of AI in the last 2 years. I've been studying about it for 4 5 years now. And, we run an AI community where, we all we talk about is AI day and night. So now what I think is, we have already moved to a stage now where this chat GPT or Cloudy or Gemini is so intelligent already that you don't really need to learn how to do a certain sort of prompting. Yes, some best practice is always there, but do you need to do a course to learn how to talk to AI? Not really. And I'll tell you why. So for example, I have written it, make a presentation on the origin, benefit and application of yoga for working professionals. Uh, Take up the role of a yoga expert. And now, before making the presentation, tell me what to ask you so that you can make a great presentation. Did you notice what I'm doing here? So rather than you learning how to talk to ChatGPT, just ask it how to talk to ChatGPT. It's as simple as that. And if you can just learn this one thing, you will save a ton of time. You should learn how to talk to AI, but for building things, for building important, big, critical things, your goal should not be कि मैं chat GPT use कैसे करूं. It's a one line thing which I have just showed you. Push low, how do I talk to you? I have this problem to solve. What can I ask you so that you can give me the best answer? हो गया, that's your entire chat GPT course finished, one line. Right? So let's see what the answer is coming like. So, to create a comprehensive, engaging presentation on the origin, benefit, and application of yoga for working professional, you need to have these kind of stuff. So, historical background, fundamental principles, benefits. So, it's giving you a layout. Then feel free to add, modify these questions based on your specific needs and audience. Once you have this information, can I help you create a detailed and engaging presentations? Then you can further ask it. Is there any question which you have for me before you make the presentation, which you have not covered so far? So here what you're doing is it has made a first attempt of telling you these pieces of information. You are giving it another opportunity to further go back to its data bank and give you more, I will say, elaborate the entire context of the discussion that we're having here. Then it's asking you who is the target audience. Now it is talking business, right? Who are you presenting to? What is the presentation format? What is the tone and style? Customization, additional content. So then you can say, so Gautam bhai, how do you want this? Who do you want to present it to?
So I want to present this to the people who will be joining my yoga classes.
Okay. So let's do it.
They are most likely to be beginners.
So I'm an entrepreneur who runs a health-based business, and my goal is to teach yoga to people of all ages. Uh, Please make the presentation accordingly and then give the output as a .ppt file, which is a PowerPoint file. Not really. In fact, it will make you, so much more active than before, because you'll be thinking more about the critical things, the important things, things which add value to people rather. And right now, by the way, ChatGPT is giving you output in a very simple PPT format, just plain blank slides. The Gamma one which I showed you, now this is more jazzy, so to say. But then it is also like this because it has been designed for this, right? So this is just for presentations. You can make presentation, you can make websites, you can also create documents out of it. Websites also is possible with this, right? So question. Yeah, go ahead. Normally, whenever you make presentation. Just a moment. I'll just take your question. So here it has created a presentation. So I'm just downloading it right now, and let's see what it has. So Gautam bhai, let's see whether you can judge this on based on the quality. I have this raw presentation, and PowerPoint has an inbuilt AI anyways. So what next I will do is I'll go to this slide and go to design. Yeah, and then go to the designer feature, and under the designer feature, now I can start putting all these designs of this one. This is obviously 2 3 year old technology. It has been there for many time for some time now, but again,
used to use this designer, not this
correct.
one. I think this is something to do with AI.
This is a AI feature which is inside PowerPoint, so you can use this also. So pretty much, you can in, I will say, maybe not 2 minutes, but at least 5 minutes, you'll be able to make a decent quality presentation, right? So okay, so that's the first thing. Now let's go to the our core deck and show you all the other cool stuff which is there.
Shabbir, I was asking.
Yes, you have your question now. Yeah, go ahead.
Normally, we would have some data with us that we would like to present.
Yeah.
So, this is just creating something from the scratch.
Uh-huh.
So we want to use our own data.
Huh?
To use it.
Let me show you. Yeah, let me. That if they have an existing PPT, a PPT file, then what I was showing them was that you can use numerous tools, but the one I am showing is, so you can use this import feature in Gamma. You can go for AI import or plain import. Let's say plain import me, you click on upload file. You click on this presentation and it is getting uploaded now, and then you can start working on it. So there are two ways. See, just see on the screen here. So this is an amazing feature which a lot of us who have been using this ChatGPT for a very long time have been using it almost daily. Now it has become available to public, as in it's free to use now, right? So this, what you call this one, is called GPTs, right? Where the idea is that for specific purpose you'll have one GPT. For example, यहाँ आप देखो. So this GPT is a math solver. It has been trained only to solve maths problem. This one is an SQL expert. This one is a framework finder. So let's take an example. Let's take a video maker. In fact, yesterday by the way, we are right now doing this challenge under our AI group. Our AI group is called AI Deep Dive. So we are doing this challenge where we ask people to do one task every day, because my understanding is, when you ask people to do something, that's when they learn the fastest. So उस challenge में yesterday we had given people task to make videos, and I remember you had put this question to me earlier. So let's say we use this particular video maker.
This is the free version, right?
This is a free version. No. So this version was only for paid users earlier. Now it is for everyone. So now it has become free. But if you have paid version, then you have some advanced feature available. You can create your own. So for example, this one is a video maker. Similarly, it can be a data analyst. In fact, I had created a FMCG analyst. I'll just show you. So first of all, you go to ChatGPT, go to Explore GPT. After Explore GPT, you come here. You have a search bar here. You can search different kind of GPT. So for example, data analyst, right? Or let's make it more specific. You are in the finance business. Let's example. You are a finance professional. Finance data. Let it come. It will show something, because people are building all sorts of GPTs. I have built many of them. So for one example, I'll give you. So I was very fond of trying to understand ancient scriptures, but मेरे को ना उपनिषद समझ में नहीं आती थी जितना मैंने try किया. So what I did was I took some 7 8 Upanishad books. I uploaded it, called it ancient sage, trained it on all this Upanishad data, and then I could just ask कि इस book का कथा उपनिषद में क्या लिखा है, मंडूक उपनिषद में क्या है, उसका क्या मीनिंग होता, all of that. So whole point being, this entire knowledge barrier has been broken, and there is something that I really want to spread, that now you can really understand really complex things which were inaccessible before in simple straightforward English or Hindi for that matter. So यहाँ पे for example some finance data scholar, right, detailed financial data science tutor with example case studies, somebody has built it. So you can use all of this. You can also build on your own.
Basically, these are GPTs built by people.
Built by people. No. It has become completely to people now.
So they are basically silos, smaller.
Correct.
Code which.
So I'll give you one example. So for example, this guide for 100 days, I built it. Initially, I was thinking my name is there, right? So my goal was that all my this friends who are studying this, taking this challenge together to learn AI, can I create an AI tutor for them? I'm still to train it further so that it can be really helpful. I need to feed it some documents and do some testing, fine tuning, but it's very easy to do. You can do it in 2-3 hours easily, right? And then obviously this can become your personal assistant. So for example, let's say Ashu, you are a branch manager at Amul. So let's say you have these 10 things you need to do. So you can, let's say, create a ब्रांच मैनेजर असिस्टेंट सो टू से ईए टू अ ब्रांच मैनेजर एंड यू कैन से भाई तेरे को ये करना है जब भी मैं ये पूछूं तो मेरे को ये जवाब दे ये करना है कैलेंडर तो you can train it and then once you have spent that time to train it then it becomes something which is your free assistant.
Simple, just I want to understand. Every month we have to do our branch review meeting.
Correct.
So our sales data format is fixed. Like we will get the sales of cheese ice cream. More or less template is also same. So we need to download one Excel.
Correct.
We have already format.
Correct.
So can we club these two things?
You can, but you are talking a little bit about the future because abhi you will do, then I think Pani Saab will not be happy. And I'll tell you why. Because your data which is there right now, this is a public tool, public software. Though they say that whatever interaction you do, it will remain private, but there is no guarantee. Reason why no corporate in the country today or across the world, they will never tell you to use these kind of tools for office work.
Correct.
You can use it for brainstorming, reasoning, logical and all that, but pretty soon, when I'm saying pretty soon, see, I'm right now working on building FMCG tools which can be used by company employees, right? Because we're trying to build it with enough security and inside a closed environment. Correct. What you are saying, yes, possible, but it's just that right now you won't have the permission to do it. So then it makes a lot of sense to sort of wait for now and when this comes, but definitely learn this right now, because so that when that thing will come, it's just a matter of months now. So for example, Excel will have its co-pilot, PowerPoint has a co-pilot, right?
What's a co-pilot?
Just let me show you. So right, this is the co-pilot. So it's a preview version right now. It's not that capable as ChatGPT, but it's already there. So I'm working with a firm, where we are building this together. Reason why I have gotten this for myself. So
But what does the co-pilot do?
so Copilot is exactly similar to ChatGPT. It is sitting inside your Excel. It is sitting inside your PowerPoint, sitting inside your Word doc.
This is there in the normal licensed Excel.
No, you'll have to buy it right now. So this is the Copilot I was talking about. So let's get back to the main presentation here. So you can build things for yourself. So this is AI.
Can you elaborate more on this?
Yeah.
How can I build an AI assistant?
Yeah, why not? That's part of the workshop flow only. In fact, I can do it right now only. In fact, let's show. First, let me show you one of the examples of GPT. So for example, this is a video maker. This company called InVideo has created this version which sits inside GPT, right? So what you can do is, you can use it to make videos. So for example, let's create a YouTube video or a marketing video, explainer video.
Can you create a video for me?
Tell me.
So I want to create a video where Thakur from not Thakur, sorry, Gabbar from Sholay says, "Thakur, apni bimari mujhe de de." Can I create that?
I doubt whether you'll be. I don't think, because it has all this data from Indian movies per se. But let's try. Khasiyat क्या होगा कि नहीं कर पाएंगे. Let's try it out.
Wonderful.
Let's make a short video ad for a health company run by Gautam, where where a character named Thakur says, what does it say, Gautam bhai?
I think it should know Sholay.
Let's say, Thakur from the movie Sholay.
Gabbar.
Sholay. What?
Where a character named Gabbar from the movie Sholay.
Named Gabbar
Singh.
Okay. Let's try. Gabbar Singh from the movie Sholay. He does what? He says. Tells Thakur. Tells another character called Thakur. Okay.
अपनी सारी बीमारियां मुझे दे दे.
अपनी सारी बीमारियां. We are really pressure testing GPT right now. अपनी सारी बीमारियां मुझे दे दे. Okay, let's try it. At worst, it will be what? A very, very low quality video, but let's see. So, okay, narrative. Gabbar Singh and Thakur meet in a doctor's clinic. Gabbar Singh walks into the doctor's clinic where Thakur is already seated, looking worried. Gabbar Singh says in a commanding voice, "Arey oh Thakur, apni sari bimari mujhe." So let's say now it is saying which narrative do you prefer, one or two? So I'll say idea one. Okay, and okay. Then what does it do? Perfect. Here's the script. ठीक है, चलो script आप बनाओ. Scene one, scene two, scene three. He's
Can we edit the script?
wait, no, wait. Let's see the fun. Now I'll proceed to create the video. Please confirm. Yes, please go ahead. Now you know everybody will get to say this, not just the bosses. Go ahead, approve. Okay, video maker wants to talk. So he was saying that I have an existing video. Can I make some modification using? Yes, you can use Filmora. So in Filmora now they have a lot of AI feature. So you can upload existing video and use AI to make all sort of. So let's see what. Are we ready to watch your movie, Gautam bhai? Don't blame me if it is very bad. Huh? But let's try. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay. Gabbar Singh promotes Gautam. Okay. Okay, let's see. So while it is taking some time, because you know it is also a machine, it will take some time. In the meantime, let's go for the other thing. I think 2-3 minutes lag jayega, so let's not wait for it. So meantime, these are some of the other important work tools which I use pretty much every day. So custom GPT we discussed. So let's talk about this amazing tool called Perplexity, which is super helpful. So let's just talk about it. So Perplexity, guys, will be very happy and makes me very proud. You know, this was made by a very young person, very small team. This guy was a graduate from IIT Madras. He went on to US for his masters and then worked for OpenAI and stuff. And so it feels pretty good. You know what? Very small number of people, so 3-4 people, very young, not even 30. None of them are 30, I think. And they made this very amazing tool, which already is being seen as the competition of Google. And frankly speaking, once I've started using this, I don't use Google anymore. It's so good. It's so good. So there are two versions to it. One is free, which is pretty much I use the free version. If you really want to use it a lot, there's also a paid version. But I will talk about the free version because that's what I've been using. Right. So it has this. So their entire goal is to make knowledge accessible in ways which Google could not. Right. So you'll see the interface is pretty much like Google. So you have something you can ask here, but it's just that the way it goes about analyzing your question and answering your question is very different. So let's give it a test, right? So
this is Perplexity, is it?
This is called Perplexity. Yes. So analyze the Indian market after the recent elections and tell me the economic outlook. So this I'm intentionally giving it this question so that it does there's some research required, right? This is not something you can just generate the answer. So let's see what it does. So pro button is it can then access GPT-4 or cloud or some other advanced LLM and use them to give intelligent answers. So for free users, it allows you to use this some 5-6 times. For a paid user, it is like allows you unlimited time. So it is asking what specific economic indicators or sector are you interested in? This is where it already won me over Google, because with Google it's like it doesn't bother. Here you feel you are engaging with something which is intelligent, right? So after your question is asking you what specific economic indicators. So let's say GDP, stock market. We are not interested in inflation. I'm not interested in unemployment. Something else which I'm interested in is, let's say, maybe
fund inflows into India.
FDI. So
let's say FDI, but even FII and
FDI, FII. Cool. So I'm interested in all of that. So I told it, bhai, मेरे को इन सब में interest है. अब तू research करो, मेरे को बता that what is going on. So now what it does is, so first it will give you a straightforward answer, which is in English. So without any blue links and कि यहाँ जाओ तो answer पढ़ो. It is giving you an answer. And the second, it is giving you all these sources, so you can verify it, right?
From where it is picked up.
Where it is picked up, the media.
Basically, like
even Google does this. When you just put it on Google and you get an AI.
They have recently started doing it, but it is full of, at least, I mean, I really hope they get more accurate with time, but right now it's very full of bugs. But this is the original tool which started that. In fact, Google learned from this. This is the older tool here.
So now everything is current.
It's all current. It's all current. No, look at this. Following the recent Indian election, the stock market experienced significant volatility, which we know is true, right? The BJP lost its parliamentary majority, leading to a sharp decline in the stock market. We are talking about, is literally talking to somebody who's like an economic expert or a stock market expert. The quality of conversation that you can have here, and this is not the end of it. So it has given you an answer. Go ahead, read it. Then further, it will tell you what else you can know. So how will the government's new policy impact foreign investment? Because you had asked about FI. What are the potential risks for Indian stock market in the coming month? How might the election outcome? So essentially, it's an extension of your mind in a way, making you think more, think deeper, really have some weight to the kind of conversation you have with internet. पहले इंटरनेट की कन्वर्सेशन ना बड़ी लाइट सी होती थी, लाइक वेरी सरफेस लेवल. नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट गोइंग ग्रैनुलर डिटेल, बीइंग वेरी स्मार्ट अबाउट इट, having access to tools which probably was only available to, let's say, a CEO of a company, or somebody at a level of a very high leadership level. Now all of that is available to you. It's just for you to sort of, how much are you using these now, and that becomes the question for us to prove the hypothesis that yes, you can become a 10x or 100x professional. Right. So this is one tool. Let's see our video bani hai ki nahi. Okay.
जगह पे
अच्छा, as of
गौतम हेल्थ कंपनी, आपकी सारी बीमारियों का इलाज एक ही जगह पे.
it said Gotham Health Company, matlab it tried. It's not very successful, but it tried. English में आप पूछोगे, it will be pretty accurate. मतलब yesterday in our challenge we were many people made such videos. I think 30 second की clip types proper. English में it's much better. Training data is better there.
Is it
So you hold it like this, and then, hi GPT, I'm sitting with a group of friends and we're talking about AI. We're doing a workshop. Can you greet them? We are all in Jaipur, and can you tell us about the weather here right now? And can you also tell us some good tips to use ChatGPT? No, this is
great to hear AI workshop. I hope you're having an exciting and productive time. Let me check the weather for you.
frozen, I think.
I'll just take a moment to get the current weather in Jaipur.
it is not there?
Hi everyone in Jaipur. I hope you're having a
I'm
great time.
right now showing
with
something
AI
on mobile.
workshop. Currently, the weather in Jaipur is
Okay.
quite warm, with temperatures around 140 degrees Fahrenheit, about 40 degrees Celsius. The sky is scattered.
So you are
with some
hearing the
clouds,
GPT
and
right
there's
now.
a light breeze blowing. It's expected to stay hot throughout the day and into the evening. For your workshop, here are a few tips to make the most out of AI tools. 1. Understand your
And
data.
this is an ongoing
Ensure
conversation,
you
by
have
the
a
way.
good understanding of the
So once
data
it's
to
done,
work
you can
with.
ask it further, and you
Building
can
well-labeled
have a
data
long.
will
My
better
daughter
AI
loves creating
2.
stories with it.
Experiment with different models.
You're in a forest and a
AI models.
vampire has come.
Various models
So it's like a nighttime story, and it's not a screen access also. No, you're just talking to
Stay
it.
updated. AI is a rapidly evolving field.
Yeah, the voice feature. So that's very, very useful, and it's good for brainstorming. It's very good for brainstorming. It's an app. Yeah, it's an app by OpenAI. So and going forward, what you will have is this voice which you heard. Videos already aa chuke hain. It will be a very, very interactive voice which will have emotions in it, which will be like super. It will sound super intelligent. So when you will talk to it, you will literally feel you're talking to another very smart human being. So that's the kind of future we're talking about. Another really amazing tool, which I have shown this to friends, family 1,000 times, but still I feel it's so amazing. So let's say this is let's take a big video, which is maybe this one. Like, this one. This is like a 140. It's a very long video, right? So what you do is, and typically this is how you save a lot of time.
So YouTube, right? There we go.
We went to YouTube, and in fact YouTube ही ये feature शायद internally build करने वाला है, but I'm telling you, what you can do right now. So there's this tool called summarize.tech. You come here, you just put the URL of the YouTube video, 1 hour 40 minutes, and you click on this. It will give you a neat, clean summary of what the video is all about. You can also do it with your Zoom meetings and all of that. So entire meeting summarized.
The same thing can be done with documents with Character.AI.
Pretty much. Easily doable. So then what you can do is further, it's still you're feeling it's quite a lot. So it gives you entire 5 minute के break में क्या क्या यहाँ पे discussion हो रही है. So you have the entire video, basically transcript तो नहीं है ये. This is the summary of the video, right? So what I typically do is I come here, copy this, go to ChatGPT, paste this entire in here under a bracket so that it knows this is a reference text, and I ask you please summarize this for me in bullet points. You can obviously ask it to do it in Hindi or whatever language you want if you wish to. right? So again, saves a hell lot of time for you. Because sometimes we don't have the time to watch a long podcast of 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. So this is again a huge time saver. So it is telling you about, in very simple bullet point, it's telling you what the video is all about, right?
Output ChatGPT is very neat.
ChatGPT, in fact, I will say, so I use ChatGPT less, I use Cloud more, because I find it to be, and I actually have a paid version of it. So here so for example, let's say I just gave it the entire same thing, it just made a document out of it, and I'm asking, can you summarize this for me in simple language? Tell me the most important message in line one. So I really like
What
this tool.
file is this that you put there?
I just copied the transcript. It took it as a file, right? The most important
Summarize.tech helps, gives you the transcript of
of the, not transcript. It's a summary. It's a long summary. Then you can use other LLMs.
and you can summarize a document whatever you want.
Correct.
Even a
But
video.
summarize that tag will only sometimes videos or video and document.
This is for some for video, but for other stuff you can have this ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini. Then I'll show you one more tool. So now, no. Right.
Summarize.tech can.
Summarize can do that. So, but eventually, it will be able to. So what it is saying, the most important message is that artificial intelligence is rapidly advancing, and while it has the potential to bring significant benefit, it also poses serious risk. Obviously, it is risky because it is so intelligent. How do you know that bad actors will not use it for harming the society, right? That's why obviously the risk element comes in. So obviously that's something very important to know. Now let me give you a demo, because we are also running out of time. A demo of a tool which again I use quite a lot. Really enjoy it. And the first time I saw this tool, guys, it was literally one of the happiest day for me. And I'll tell you why. मुझे शुरू से ना science बहुत पसंद रही है. I really love scientific approach and this entire research paper जो आते हैं. And I always, because I have been in FMCG and वहाँ पे ज़्यादा science जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, तो obviously you don't read it, so you get out of the habit. When this tool came, the first thing I did is मैंने आइंस्टाइन की कोई लिखी हुई पेपर थी उसको डाली, जो मैंने जिंदगी में समझ में नहीं आना था. मैंने इसको बोला कि भाई, so this is a tool called Humata. So इसका first interface मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको how it works. So it's something like this, right? So you can upload document here, right? DPPT, whatever kind of document. मैं already I have uploaded. In fact, आज सुबह हम लोग अपने group में बात कर रहे थे. This paper is called Attention is All You Need. It is the most important paper in AI. Came out in 2017 and it transformed the entire space of AI. आज जो भी आप देख रहे हो, ये discussion हो रही है, ये हमारे कुछ आशीष वासवानी जी हैं जिन्होंने ये बड़ा अमेजिंग से रिसर्च किया था उनकी टीम ने. Because of that, a lot of things became possible. Obviously, there are thousands of people who have done great work, but this was a very pivotal moment. Now, important scientific paper, but obviously, people like you and me, हमें क्या समझ में आना बताओगे, right? So what you can do is you can come here, and on one side you have the research paper, and it can be a research paper, it can be a book, it can be a financial document, it can be anything, right? As long as it's a PDF, you can ask it, can you explain this to me? Imagine I'm a 10-year-old. मैं को एकदम बेवकूफ बच्चा हूँ, मेरे को कुछ नहीं पता, मेरे को समझाओ क्या है, right? So sometimes you will ask it, can you explain it to me without any jargon? Can you explain it to me in a funny way? So you can do all sort of this, permutation combination with it. So what it's saying is the paper talks about a super smart computer model called Transformer. It's like a detective that can understand language really well and translate them accurately, which is how it contributed to large language model, which is ChatGPT is a large language model, right? That's where the intervention was made. Now you can also ask, can you say this without using any jargon and in plain, simple English? Now this one line is, in my mind, a very transformative thing to be able to get done, because for the longest time we lived in a case of information asymmetry. Professionals, experts, भाई हमें पता आपको नहीं पता, यही झगड़े चल रहे हैं पिछले कई decades से. With this, I think largely that boundaries between knowledge gates will collapse. We are talking about the creation of a world where pretty much everybody सबको पता है सब क्या है. it will be very easy to fool. It will be very difficult to fool people just because you have information asymmetry. आपको ज़्यादा पता है किसी को कम पता है. I don't think you'll be able to do that in the future because everybody will have access to all of these tools, which you don't need to be a computer scientist to use this, right? I'm just using plain English, and it will keep getting more and more simpler. So that's a transition that as a society we're going to make, which is what the technology leaders are telling you in little technical language. हम थोड़ी देशी भाषा में उसको समझाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, right? So okay, and with this I think that the next one is
Somebody has raised.
okay. Yeah, please go ahead. Whoever raised your hand, if you can just ask a question.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Really fantastic. Some of these are absolutely brilliant. Mata and the combination of perplexity, what a purpose, whatever. So
Sure.
I'm wondering, like, can you make a teaching tool out of this without really? Because Khan Academy, there is some limitations because it's only open to somebody in the US.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah,
So
it's not
I'm
open
so
to
glad.
Indians.
I'm so glad you asked this question. So as you know that I have recently started my own firm called Future Labs, and this is one of the mission of the Future Lab to build a tool which will be able to be a personal coach and a guide for every student in India and probably the world. It's a very ambitious goal. I'm looking for people to collab with me on this goal, but this is exactly what I'm working on. I hope this answers the question. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Most
because
welcome.
at the higher level, I think you can crack it
Yeah.
because if, for example, if you are going to look at guys who are doing graduate course or even MBA, for example,
Yeah.
that would be probably easier.
Yeah.
So maybe
it's yeah.
can
a
you just
difficult
elaborate
tool
what
to
exactly you're doing, when you're likely to crack it, etc., etc. Because I'm quite excited. I got two vested
I
interests,
will
one for
love
me
it
and
if you
one for my
can.
son.
So I'll love it if you can get in touch with me one-on-one on this, because I'm not because the whole goal was for this
Great, no
workshop to be
problem,
more
no
about
problem.
working professionals, but I'd love to talk to you offline. Yeah. Yes, you
sorry.
had
Yeah,
a question. No problem. Yeah. Yes.
That last week, Salman Khan has released one new tool along with my
Can we go? Yeah.
That's the perfect use case.
Correct. Perfect. In fact, if you go to my website, I mean, it is literally what I have put. That's what I want to build. So it's a teacher's dream, to be very honest. In fact, I will tell you now one application which I aim to utilize in the app which I'm trying to build, in the tool which I'm trying to build. So if you know this whole phenomena called this Socratic way method of learning. So I'm a big fan of that. In fact, whatever I know is because of that simple method. I'll give you a demo of that. It's really amazing method. This and first principles thinking. These are the two things which I believe, has helped me probably, let's say, move from FMCG to sort of building or becoming, a tech entrepreneur in a way. Obviously, I'm just at the very start right now. So let's see how my journey goes. But these two methods, this way of learning things, new things which are beyond, your training in a way. So I'll want to give a demo of that to you. So this is a tool called Character.AI. You'll be very surprised that today at a global level, the number one AI tool used is ChatGPT. The number two is this. Very few people know. Very few people know about this. Character.AI. I'm surprised in India, whoever I have talked to, no matter computer scientist, engineer, they don't know about this tool, but this is such an amazing tool. So I'll just give you a demo, right? So इसमें क्या होता है ना कि you can talk to a character. So for example, right now we'll be talking to Socrates. You can also build characters of your choice. So let's say you want to make APJ Abdul Kalam, you want to make Atal Bihari Vajpayee, right? You can train them on all the speeches they gave, all the books they wrote, and all of that, right? So let's talk to Socrates. And it is so amazing as a working professional. If you have not had a talk with Socrates, please do. It will change the way you think immediately, because he had a very beautiful way of thinking. So let's give a demo. I want to make education a public good, because I think everyone has a right to get free education. Right? There's something a debate, which we have, at least those of us, who care for education and want to promote education. Do you support my statement? if you are, let's say, working in the FMCG industry and you want to make a strategy that want to go and reach out to the rural areas, and this is the pricing, this is the distribution you want to do, and this is the strategy you have. Again, you can put it that I'm thinking like this. What do you think? Right? It says, let's say Socrates saying, I appreciate the sentiment behind your statement. However, so this is where the critical part starts. Let's delve a little deeper. Why do you believe everyone has the right to free education? And what do you think the role of the government should be in providing this right? Right? Look at the questions. It is a question which, those of you from Irma, if you remember Professor Raju will ask this. That आप जो सोच रहे हो, have you critically analyzed what you're thinking? And as a professional, this is, something which we normally see youngsters struggle with this, because आदत होती है सामने जो मिल गया statement, and anyways, corporate structure में कई बार ये भी होता है कि you want to please the bosses. Bosses ने बोला yes, correct. So this entire, but when you are really building something, when that just saying yes will not do, this critical thinking is something you can practice with a tool, with this kind of tool. And when I'm thinking of building an education tool, my goal will be, I don't want to give the answer right away to the student. I want that AI to further probe the student कि भाई तेरे को ये सवाल है तो can I help you think a little deeper? Can I make you a more more organized in your own thought? And right, so that's critical thinking, which is something which I feel tools like this can really escalate and make available to everyone. The second one, in fact, I had put up a couple of slides around this because I think it's a very important thing for us to know. So I'll just skip few things and go directly into it because we are running a lot out of time also. So this one, this entire, I owe so much of my learning to this particular. It's called a mental model, right? This is a way of thinking that can you boil down a problem to the most fundamental level, and then from that perspective, can you then approach a problem? So let's say in terms of for a working professional, if you are somebody, how do you use first principles with AI, right? So typical flow in a first principle approach is you find a problem, you clarify the problem because you want to get deeper into. This is what typically happens in a management leadership meeting, right? You clarify on the problem, then you break it down. This is typically that's something that doesn't happen because it's very painful to break down a problem. To its bond fundamental. It takes a lot of mental effort. This is where I love using AI. So initially, I have a problem. Let's say the problem is how do I build an app which can be a coach to every student in the world. You clarify the problem, you ask a more revealing question, use AI there. Then you break it down. Let's AI use this thousands of millions of database which is there. Then you solve the problem by building something on, and then you kind of question the process, which is what Socrates was doing, right? So this I think is an amazing mental model framework when used manually. Obviously, it's very laborious, takes a lot of time. Some people have a hunch for it. People like any entrepreneur will have a hunch for it. If you are smart, essentially this is something that comes by instinct, first principle thinking. But with AI, I think the effort to do this thinking just comes down significantly, and which is something I really appreciate. So any young professional here, um, you know the basic simple stuff like how to use ChatGPT to make your resume, how to apply for a job, वो सीख लेना यार खुद से. But this is more important. This is more in-depth thinking that it will bring to you. And I'll say once you start the practice of approaching every problem with this lens, your entire approach changes, and then you really start enjoying stuff that you're building. Someone again has raised a hand. If you want to ask a question. Okay, no worries. Anybody a question here? Because I jumped quite a few stuff. So Socrates, I showed you, and I'm not being able to go too much in depth. The idea is to just give you a flavor of stuff. So I'll just quickly. Yeah. How can you create? Achha, like that. So you can create a custom GPT, and in this one, it's pretty easy. You can come here and can create a character like this. And you start interacting with it. Initially, you will tell it, so character name, tagline, description, greetings, voice, and description. I will say use ChatGPT or other AI to give a detailed description. क्या कर सकते हो, क्या नहीं कर सकते हो, right? But something like there's another platform called POE, which again is pretty cool to build all these bots for yourself.
But these characters have been built by people. Or
People. Some are being built by organizations. अंदर से training use करा रहे अच्छे से.
You're not sure about the quality of them.
So at least let's say those. So one example of it is how much rating it has got, how many talks it has had. It's a surrogate rating. Surrogate. There is data. It's public data. Yeah. So if we see here, let's say, sorry, we were in Character AI, no? So if you go to Character AI and you do the exploration bit, so you will see how much of people. So this is some 12 million views, 345 million views, and all of that. So you have all kind of stuff. And Character AI is pretty, open platform. People are using it for fun, for work, for all kind of stuff. No restriction there.
For work, how can we use this?
Use a business coach. Let's find. Let's find. Yeah, why not? So let's say business coach koi hoga, we can use that. Yeah, there is. So it has 9,000 chats made by somebody. Then let's see what it says.
Let's suppose we want to understand chart treat. Market के जो हम chart treat करते हैं.
हाँ. So then you can have a different one. You can go here and then have a stock market advisor. So you can have, and इसमें फायदा क्या है ना कि ChatGPT is a general tool. It's like a universal tool. यहाँ पे it's a more constricted version. So you are specifically asking somebody which is trained on that or which knows किसका ये instruction है. So it will be more focused in its answer. So stock market analyst or stock market advisor, something like that. Stock market analyst is 16,000 chats, right? So you can chat with it. So I'll leave the exploration for you to do.
But do you think that the output will be very different if we use the same thing in ChatGPT? Giving it a prompt that you are such and such character, and then you give me the output. And is it a very different output or is it the similar output? Because it is basically using ChatGPT.
Not really. It might be using some of the other LLMs also. Maybe using a mix of cloud and ChatGPT. So for example, I find some responses which cloud gives to be much more advanced than ChatGPT. In fact, I find it very difficult not to use two LLMs together. So I get answer from one, then ask the other one. Anyways, time to bachi raha hai. So itna time to de hi sakte hain. You can have a second opinion and all of that. This one I'll say it saves you the trouble of prompting, so to say. It's already trained, so you can just ask question. You don't have to tell it you are an expert in this and this. So that time gets saved.
Just simple question: which market is more?
But this one is showing it is trained on NYSE and US Treasury bond.
Okay.
So India का बहुत अच्छा नहीं होगा. India का तो maybe we can build.
Just एक simple question कि global में किस country में investment better है? For next 5 years.
Which is a good stock to invest in these days in, let's say, tech? NVIDIA ही बताएगा मेरे ख्याल से. You should look into semiconductor company, NVIDIA and AMD. They have common sense. But at least it gave a common sense answer.
At least ठीक है, आपको idea हमें नहीं पता.
अच्छा. मैं तो अच्छा, we have crossed the time here. So what we'll do is we'll sort of wrap it in a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes more. Okay.
I think you can go ahead. Yeah. We are learning quite a lot, so.
So at least I'll finish my slide, right? So, but I'll try not to, because I'm sure people Saturday weekend plans and all of that. So so this is something, a little bit of discussion could be interesting here. That we, as I was telling you, that we are moving to an age of information today, and a very interesting chart which says that in 1900s knowledge used to double every 400 years, whereas in 2000 knowledge used to double every 8 years, and today it's doubling every 12 hours. And trust me, it's true. It's actually true. Yes. So as a knowledge worker, how do you deal with this? I really love this tweet by this fellow. He says, in the first 10,000 years of human history was training data for the next 10,000 years. Because whatever we are seeing in AI, all the intelligence, all the wisdom, who is Socrates? Tell me. He's somebody who had a lot of wisdom, and he's not an alien. So whatever ChatGPT is telling you in terms of intelligence, it is your own human intelligence which is coming in a different format, right? This image, I'm very fond of this. It really explains things in a very simple way. That initially it used to be कि encyclopedia में 50 साल की knowledge होती थी. आज के दिन में एक दिन का knowledge डालना पड़ेगा. This is the size of knowledge we are talking about, right? So this chart, just see it, and I will not say a lot about it because sometimes it sounds a little controversial, but this is a chart by this guy called Tim Urban. Really respect him. Has run this amazing blog called Wait But Why. You can go and read articles there. What he's saying is, what's happening with AI is, it started at the level of an ant in a way, slowly became to the level of bird, then chimp, and then a dumb human. So we are still saying, this monkey tricks, maze aa rahe, video bana lo, photo bana lo. But pretty soon it will reach the level of Einstein, and then you will go, oops, and it's about to happen, right? So for us, at least, educated, responsible citizens of a developing country, then the question becomes, what is your response to this? Will you continue to live your life the way you have, ignoring everything that's happening? ChatGPT is a joke, or ChatGPT is just a funny tool. Can you seriously afford that to be your outlook? Can you not think what AI means for the children's future, for the country's future? And then how do you contribute to this? Can you contribute to this? Obviously, right? So just think, look at this. So those were claims. This is reality. March 2022, a tool called Midjourney was this level. Then every few months it got better, better, better. December 23, it is this. I can right now make this image for you and show you that it is even, it can make even better images than this, right? And let me, because I have given so many demos, let me just show you. So this is my Midjourney feed. And by the way, Midjourney is an example of a company which truly believes in the power of community. So everything here is open source in the sense that you can just, everything is available. So for example, let's say,
what is this useful for creating?
I'll just give me 2 minutes and I'll just demonstrate. So let us look at some picture which you think is amazing. Uh, Dinosaur. This one very unique. Yeah. So unlike a typical corporate setup where you'll want to sort of hide your information because you don't want others to get intel of what you're doing. So some guy called Pablo created this image. He used this prompt. You can use the same prompt, make some changes. So I will say group of Odisha tribals, right? And you can change the aspect ratio of this. So obviously you need to know a little bit. There's no rocket science here. Can you see just how simple and open this is? You don't have to learn prompting. It's all there. You just need to come here, use somebody else's community work done, and then you can create your own image. And so right now it's 30% done. Obviously, after this, you can go to your friends and claim that you are this amazing illustrator and graphic artist and all of that. I'll leave that to you. But we are moving to a world where everything will be openly available. Somebody was asking me to do a recording of this session and give the video. All I'm telling you will not really need to do any recording going forward because everything will be available to you. So this is the image which we have created right in front of us, right? Obviously, this is something we have used somebody's work. We can obviously do original creative work also. Nobody's stopping you from that. Again, I'll show you something. They have this very beautiful concept. I will love to sort of spend a couple of minutes here. I have not seen any company do this. You can submit idea. You want them to do something, submit an idea. Somebody will actually read it. What was the last time you saw a company inviting public to give an idea? Then there are so many ideas given by the community. It is saying give points to it. किसी ने कहा कि यार इसमें magazine subscriber का tracking डाल दो, feature डाल दो, improve communication of roadmap, conversation interface. To me, this is the future of companies. This is the future of how work should be done. Give it to the public. Let them say. Imagine a government of India saying, what idea do you have? Give it. These are the ideas given by Indian citizens. Rate it. If it's a very good idea, do it. Let it go to Prime Minister Modi if it reaches 1 million. The technology is there, but we are somewhere not using it. So this idea, generate multiple angle of same object, has got a score of 804. It is a topmost idea given by the community, and based on that, they will build this product. So we are moving to an age now where we'll be building products and services based on what people want rather than what the CEO wants, right? It's a demo of something like that. Okay, coming back. Now, this guy here, I really respect him. His name is Andres Karpathy, one of the most talented engineers we have alive today. He was the chief engineer at Tesla, working on driverless cars. Then he went to OpenAI. Right now, he's on a sabbatical and he has become a teacher. Apparently, he teaches AI to people. So he's saying, just like at one point of history, we used to ask, do we need a personal computer? In the same way, a few years down the line, you'll be asking, do we need a personal LLM? And the truth is, not a single person in this room, not a single person in this meeting will not have a personal LLM. That's the future we are moving towards. So again, very good time to learn all this stuff. So this statement, by William Gibson, which says that in the future is already here, just not equally distributed, just not evenly distributed, and that sort of is more or less the mission with which I am driving, what I'm trying to build in Future Labs. That the whole point is, in a developing country, you have to enable abundance, you have to distribute knowledge, you have to distribute resources. This meeting, you can say, is in a way an act of sharing what I know with all of you. So that's a little bit of an ad for me. And yeah, on the best practice bit, and I think this would be the last piece after which we'll wrap. So we are used to using Google of asking question. Now we have to change our thinking, that we are moving to a world where we have a intelligent person or intelligent entity who we can ask questions to and interact. So that's a mindset shift we need. This one is in. This is a graphical representation of what you call the Turing test, where Alan Turing, he lived in the 1950s and was a genius based out of UK. In fact, the Apple logo is a dedication to him, because he died by committing suicide eating apple. And the bite in the apple which you see in Apple logo is dedicated to Steve Jobs, was a big fan of Alan Turing. So Alan Turing said that a time will come when a machine will be such that when a human evaluator, and there'll be two rooms, closed rooms, and one room you have computer, one room you have human, you're talking to it, you will not be able to realize who's a human, who is a computer, because it'll be so smart. So it's called the Turing test. And a lot of people, industry experts, are saying that the Turing test has already been passed. We already have computers today which are more intelligent, or at least as intelligent than human beings. Pretty soon, they will keep getting smarter and smarter, because with us, the problem is our brain skull is limited in size. With computer, you can make a very, very big LLM, because there's no limitation of the size there. So we are moving to that kind of a world, which will also mean that we will not really need to learn programming per se. So, for example, as I was telling you earlier, is prompt engineering a scam? Because I see so many courses which teaches you prompt engineering. Do you really need to take a course, or do you just need to use your common sense on how to talk to an AI? Because it will become easier and easier and easier to be able to talk to an LLM and get the kind of answer. I can, if I wish, I can show you example of, you can do very huge long coding which previously required coding language. Now it's just a matter of asking a question and you can do that coding. But there are definitely some best practices. You can find this in the official website of OpenAI. So I've not spent time on it. But this, again, I have put it in plain simple English. What are some things which are important? Again, this is not a prompt engineering course. This is just basic advice, that each time you are talking to a AI, talking to LLM, think that you have to talk to it and not search, because Google is all about search. This time you're talking. So have a conversation. Reduce fluffy and imprecise description. So just ask it to be brief, be concise, so you don't get all this, big bloated answers. Uh, Many times I've seen, people telling it what not to do. Is, you should think logically and just ask it what you want it to do. Then another thing which works pretty well is if you instruct the model to work its own solution before rushing to a conclusion.
What else? I have been using ChatGPT. I really don't know what to ask exactly.
So I can pass it on the group. I can just pass it on the group. In fact, my goal was to show this to you through prompting and all, but that will take a really lot of time. So I'll skip that. But I'll pass this on. So these are some best. And by the way, this is not mine. This is OpenAI के website में publicly available. I've just copy pasted it, to be very honest. You can get it easily right now if you just click on Google or Perplexity. You just click OpenAI prompting guide. You will get exactly this document, right? So so I'll close with that, with the positive spirit of the fact that this is pretty much the beginning of something very transformative, very big. It will have its share of dangers, problems. There'll be a lot of bad stuff you'll see in the coming years. 3-4 years down the line, or 3-4 years from now, I think there'll be a lot of disruptions, chaos happening in the market, when they start taking away jobs and everything, because there'll be reshift, right? It's a big reset that's happening. So there'll be chaos. But again, there'll be so many good, amazing things which will get built. And I'm sure, so many people online, all the Irmans who are attending the talk, with all the spirit. In fact, while talking to Gautam Bhai before the meeting, I was saying, people who are kind, people who want to do good things, probably this is the best technology for them, because information asymmetry is gone. All this gatekeeping is gone. Now, when you are kind now today and you want to build something to strengthen people, because traditionally in capitalism, we have built businesses which make money off people's weaknesses. We are talking about an age where that will in fact not work. Midjourney is a community-based business, right? Entire community has built it together. Today, I'm running this channel where we are learning together, and I don't care about money. I care about, can I get some respect from people for what I'm doing, and that will turn into money someday, hopefully. Even if not, how does it matter? So we are moving to a very transformative time in human history, and my whole goal was for this session was to at least give you an intro. This is obviously a very small 101. You can really have days of workshops around all the individual cases here. So those of you who do not know me, sort of you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me here. After this, if there are some questions, happy to take them. But that's my session so far.